Having nocked an arrow, sight the target, keeping your eyes on the target at all times. Stand with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width with the heels on a line. Your pelvis and torso should be perpendicular to the target. The knees are loose, just slightly bent. The tailbone is hanging down and the bottom should not protrude. The stomach should not stick out. Take care to maintain this alignment when you raise the bow. Maintaining your alignment, raise your bow overhead without lifting the shoulders out of their sockets. Keep the bow arm elbow crooked slightly downward to maintain this correct shoulder alignment. Keeping the arrow level to the ground, raise the arms to a 30-degree angle with the ground. The bow arm index finger should point in the direction of the bullseye. Note that beginners may raise the bow higher than this, while more seasoned archers will require less movement to draw their bows. From the raised position, begin the drawing motion while keeping the bow upright and perpendicular to the ground. As the arms draw downward, extend outward in opposite directions along a straight line from the extended index finger of the bow hand to the rear string arm elbow. While pulling downward, focus on elongating along the joints in opposite directions. The proper draw will open the chest and close the back, meaning that the shoulder blades move towards each other. Continue drawing the bow until you reach the pre-draw position, a point 90% through the entire motion. At this pre-draw position, the bow and string arm should be level. The shoulder and hips are likewise level. The bow arm extends toward the target as if one is reaching out to touch the bullseye with the bow hand index finger. The string hand elbow extends in the opposite direction toward the rear. This creates a dynamic tension between the two arms and stabilizes them, preventing the front arm from moving during the release. Many classic Manchu archery texts explain that in order to reach full draw, the archer should open the chest and shoulders so the scapula move towards one another. As the chest opens, the spine bows outward, rounding the torso. This action rolls the pelvis under so that the tailbone is pointing to the ground and tilts the chest forward slightly as the string arm elbow moves behind the torso. This movement draws the string hand back to its full drawn position aligned with the rear shoulder joint. This action also brings the string into contact with the chest. Having reached full draw, release the arrow at the target, neither early nor late. An early release is one when the arrow is loose before the full draw is reached, in other words, rushing the shot. A late release refers to holding the full draw long enough to allow the thinking part of the mind to begin analyzing and interfering with the intuitive part of the mind. Ming archery texts describe the timing of release as ripe fruit dropping from the vine. When it is ready, it just releases. The archery classic, Shooting the Bullseye, states that during the release, the front hand does not move an inch, and the rear hand releases without using any force, just letting go of the string like pulling a trigger on a crossbow. Open your finger and thumb and just use a bit of skill. It is not necessary to make a pose or use any strength. To achieve these alignments, the front bow arm must remain solid and unmoving, extending towards the target. The rear string hand opens and then arcs gently, vertically to the rear. This arcing movement should not be a violent, forceful action. It is meant only to ensure a clean release that does not shake the arrow in any direction.